Other interesting business news, you have Lotus looking at layoffs because they sold a mere 576 cars in 2022, which for automotive manufacturer, even a lemonade stand, that's piss poor performance. Now, of course, they blame a myriad of things, including the cliche supply chain, which is true in many cases since a lot of the precious metals are coming from different countries you don't work with. And they also halted production of pretty much their best vehicles as well. Coincidence? No, I definitely do not think not. They actually completely switched from their development and their concept as a company, and I'll explain. Now, they ended the production of the Elise, the Exige, and the Evora back in 2021. So right now, the only model I believe that they have now is the Emira, which the Emira looks like, and they also have maybe another small EV. So it looks like they're making an EV SUV and an EV, what is this, an EV car, which for Lotus is perhaps the most boring. What's a nice way of saying that? It's the antithesis of the company embodiment. Now, if you look at the history, it has some great history racing heritage. British racing company, and there's a good culture of a lot of enthusiasm and support behind the brand. And in terms of a driver vehicle for the track, I mean, the Lotus Elise is probably the most well-known for the brand, specifically that model. It was a great small car. It had a Toyota engine, so it's bulletproof as all hell. And it had a manual transmission, which for track enthusiasts who really love being one with the vehicle and having that pure, unique experience, it's all about having that third pedal, the stick shift. It's one of the reasons why the Mazda Miata continues to be one of the most successful track cars ever. Even though you don't have to have the most amount of horsepower, they have great manufacturer support at Mazda. They'll give you parts for a 91 Miata like that. Great support, and there's a great racing community around it as well. Lotus were known for having that small, fun little car, very low weight, great weight distribution, and it had a stick shift. And of course, they had the Toyota internal combustion engine, which gas engines are more fun and gives you more unique experience. And again, it's a Toyota engine. It's damn near bulletproof. Those things, a Toyota will hit 1 million miles and last a quarter of a century because their engineering is that good for the internal combustion engine. And then to have Lotus go to an EV, which most tracks don't allow EVs. Now, this isn't because tracks have a pejorative view of EVs mostly, or they hate them. It's really a safety issue. Most of these tracks have the technology to put out traditional fires that are caused by a gasoline and internal combustion engine. Even most fire departments across the U.S. aren't yet equipped with additional equipment necessary for a fire caused by a lithium-ion battery. Those battery fires are also much more catastrophic. That's why when you see a fire with an EV vehicle, that vehicle usually is just toast. And by protocol, a lot of fire departments, they just say, let it burn, because it's more safe than trying to intervene with a technology that's not equipped to handle the situation. So Lotus, which again was making great track cars, is now making a vehicle that cannot be used on the track. And again, they only sold 576 cars last year, which is abysmal. In terms of the company history, even back in 2021, when there were legitimately more supply chain concerns, they still sold 1,566. So again, ballparking the math, they're selling about a third of what they used to. And again, I don't see that trend going around. With all the technology right now, the best if you want an EV, the best EV for the track is probably going to be the Porsche Taycan, which is electric EV. It's an EV, and unlike the Tesla, it doesn't limit you in terms of the usage. If you want to go your fastest you can go 0 to 60, it'll let you do it every single time until the battery goes down to 0%. Tesla, on the opposite hand, they start to limit the car's capabilities because they don't want the battery to get to zero. So to Porsche's credit, they did develop a more performance-oriented EV vehicle. Now, that being said, the best performance or best experience you'll ever have is with a Porsche with a stick shift. And unfortunately, it looks like, as of their announcement a couple days ago, going forth, that will be the Porsche 911, which they are committed to still making with the internal combustion engine and 3 pedals, as every sports car should have. But it's interesting, will Lotus change their mind? Toyota still makes a powertrain that they can use, but I don't know how many enthusiasts they'll be able to bring back. Perhaps this belongs in the business blunder of this section of the day. Is it enough to bankrupt the company? I mean, they've had financial issues before, and now they're going from a niche part of the market where they were known for a sporty British car where there really wasn't a lot of competition in that very niche segment. It was a profitable segment, mostly when they weren't making bad business decisions, but it was a segment that there wasn't a lot of competition. If you think of German, or rather British cars, if you want a more performance one, you're going to get an Aston Martin, which is great because it's V12 and a stick shift, but the cost is also, what, 4 times as much? And the only other car that's similar to the Lotus Elise, in particular in the category, would be the Mazda Miata, which is very different with engineering. There's a lot of differences, so I think it had a good niche area, and now they're trying to go for the masses, which, in my opinion, will dilute the brand. It perhaps will be more profitable long term if they're able to capture the EV market for those crossovers of their cars, but there's also more competition because they are going more mainstream. So time shall tell to see how Lotus ventures, but I don't know. The Magic 8 Ball might just say, outlook, not so good. Now, I want to especially thank everyone for taking the time to tune in. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so I greatly appreciate you taking the time to click that subscribe button. Every time you do that, you help the channel grow and develop, and be able to get more resources to increase our capabilities for the software, so you maybe put some pictures up as we try to make them better and better. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and actually comment on the video. The feedback has also made the show a lot better. And also, finally, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.